Welcome back. I am Crank Addict, and this is a channel for crank addicts like me and hopefully like you. Today we are back on the Commander 410 once again. We need to raise this floor up to get it even with the rest of the galley so we have a nice even floor space to party on. Right? We've already got rid of this closet back here that goes to the V-berth, and we want to take advantage of that room to push our kitchen that way a couple of feet so we get a little bit more room in here. So anyway, I already got some cedar from the house. Cedar's a nice rot resistant wood, and I went ahead and screwed it to this upright, this vertical upright that's in there. And let's see how this first piece of wood fits here. Not bad. I got a little bit of a gap in here. It's pretty good there. So I might just kind of fill that in. It looks a little raw right now, but a little bit of a support will help that out. But that's kind of what we're going for here. Smoothing things out like this. So we're going to be removing all these other braces. And I use that term very loosely. Like I said, these things weren't even doing anything on the side. Building up this bulkhead and getting this floor all the way out to the V-berth there, and then we can relax. So hang on, let's keep working. So we spent a couple of hours working on these trusses where we're raising the floor. The factory originally drilled the trusses in from the side from the center support, and I wanted to try to replicate that. So we went ahead and installed a small vertical upright temporarily, and we have measured and cut our pieces to fit against the fiberglass or whatever that box is over there. So we've got all of our areas marked here. We're going to pull this back out, screw these pieces to this upright permanently, reinstall this apparatus while we are epoxying the other ends to the fiberglass. So let's get to it. Alright, so I screwed these two trusses to that support. And this will slide right in there like this. Once we set it the right height. And like I said, we'll screw it in and then we'll epoxy this. But we're going to do all this when we have all of these trusses done. So I don't want to just mix up a little bit of epoxy. We'll do the whole thing at once and then walk away and let it dry. So we're going to keep working. So be right back. Alright guys, well, you can see we've got all the trusses now installed, and we're ready to drop our flooring down, but Christina is putting a nice coat of paint all over it. There is one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to add one more support for this bar right here. It was originally a small little 1x3, and so we upsized it, but it just doesn't have any real support in there. I mean, they're fiberglass to the sides and attached pretty well on that corner, but I just feel better if it had a little more support. So I'm going to run a vertical down to the bilge deck, I guess that's what you call it, down to the bilge, and call it quits there. But yeah, this is looking really good. What do you guys think? There we go. Alright guys, well I'm working on this Flybridge ladder. I wanted to get this thing out of the way because it's right here in our party space. And so what I did, I went on eBay and I bought a little swim ladder for a boat or something like that that would fold up. And it's a little bit tight. I think the swim ladders on eBay use like 0.9 inch tubing, whereas this is 1 inch tubing. So these brackets are a little tight, but I just cut this thing at this point here. I measured the hatch, 30 inches. I can slide this up in there. And then once I attach the bottom part, you know, the whole thing will be up out of the way. So let me attach it again and let's see how this works. Alright, well you can see we got the floor back in place. Our kitchen area is now the same height as the rest of the galley. And we're trying to plug some of these holes back here. It's kind of loose right now, but it'll go in place. We're going to glue it all together eventually. Epoxy, wood glue, I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. We still need to move this piece of wood back to get a little more counter space. But the big thing we've been up to is this AC system. Here, follow me. Pardon the mess, but this is the original AC system that we removed from the boat, and it's kind of a weird system too because it would suck air in through this outlet here and then blow it out right above it, so you have like the air going in and out and in. It's like doing a little circle thing. That's not good. It causes your refrigeration unit to short cycle. So the previous owner put it in. I can't say he put an AC system in, but he hooked up an AC system. But it's a very temporary kind of thing that he did. So the previous owner had the AC system sitting right here on top of this box. This box goes over the lower head, the front head, and the hoses were just drilled through the galley here down into the bilge area, and it got the water for this AC system from that. This is the AC system that he had sitting out here on this box. And these marine AC systems are different than what you're used to seeing. You know, normally in a house, you have one box in the house, and you've got a box outside the house. And you condense Freon from one side, and you move it to the other side, and it cools down, and you move the heat that way. You're always moving heat. You're not moving cold. You're moving heat. Well, this marine unit is pretty cool because instead of pumping the heat out, it actually just circulates cold water from the lake through this unit to get rid of the heat right here in the self-contained unit. So there's no external box needed. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, so we removed that original unit, redid some of the mounting back here to secure it. This thing isn't going to go anywhere. As I move it around a little bit, it's not going to go anywhere. And of course we have to run some new ducting. So we weren't going to use this top hole anymore. That's just stupid. So what we did is, follow me down here to the head. I don't have any lights down here, it's all disconnected, but I think you guys can see with my LED camera light. The unit's above this panel here, and so we cut part of this plywood here and run a 4-inch sewer pipe out the side here. I had to notch this to gain clearance to the fiberglass, put on a 90-degree, running it through this medicine cabinet. Okay. And through this bulkhead, now I've got these water connections going down. There's a pump downstairs that pumps the water from the lake water around here. So now these hoses are going back here through the unseen access panels sewer pipe, a couple of 22.5s to adjust the angle, going straight back. And now we're exiting at the back of the cabin. So now this air here will be exiting here, flowing this direction, and then going through the AC to be redone. We thought about possibly moving this outlet to the far side of the boat so we get a little cross ventilation, but being so close to this door's going to be opening and closing all the time. It's probably going to be left open most of the time, honestly. It rarely gets closed. We were concerned that they may be diluting too much of the AC, so I think this is about as good as it's going to get in a marine application, so I'm pretty happy with that. I guess ideally you should go from this corner to the kitchen corner, but there's no room at the kitchen for that AC box, so it is what it is. This is how it's going to run. So anyway, that's our new AC system. Howdy, neighbor. We got a new beadboard going down to cover the old paneling. Originally, they had this crazy textured wallpaper in here. It was horrible, and it's peeling in most places anyway. So this poplar beadboard comes from Lowe's, some big box store. Probably shouldn't say Lowe's, but it installs very easily. And we're just slowly wrapping the whole side of the galley with the beadboard. We pulled the staircase away and got all the way in the back side, then up to the edge. Now on these corners, there are valances that hang down to help hide some of these gaps. There's also trim that fits in here, some teak trim to cover up those gaps, so that's not a problem there. So now we're working over at the electrical panel. I'm amazed that these hinges, I don't think they're factory, someone else put them in here, do so well with this beadboard. They don't rub at all. So we're going to keep this gap super tight. We're going to cover this up, and once we're done with this beadboard, then we can focus our attention on getting some flooring down. Tuck that in. Look at the gap on top. See, it's pretty close. I better just do just a hair bit of sanding on the right side. It's pretty darn close. So if I set this in there, so we have finished the beadboard here. We pulled the door off the hinges and went ahead and finished the edge nice and pretty. Top and bottom. We've got nice corners all the way around. We still need to caulk some of the edges on these open corners here. And we still need a few more screws too. But the beadboard is basically done. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and thanks for watching.